we're here for math, lesson 24, session number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, session number 2. So session number 2. It starts on page 527. So if you hear me in the background, Mr. Clem is working on dinner, so don't mind her at all. All right, we're on page 527, and this is just continuing to compare fractions. So I drew all of the shapes up here on my fancy board, and this is 1A and 1B. It should look pretty similar to your books. Again, it's not perfect, but what they want you to do is they want you to write the fraction below each one and then circle the one that is greater. So when you're first looking at a whole, you're looking at 1, and you're going to count the pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is your denominator. And then they're asking how many parts that are shaded. So I didn't do that on this one. There's only one of them, and it's not in the right spot because I drew it wrong, but it is 1 out of the 6. And here, same thing. You're going to look at the whole 1, 2 pieces. So your denominator is 2. One of those is shaded in. Then you're going to color in which one is greater. Okay, I'll let you do that part. 1B, same thing. You're going to count the pieces. You can look at this and tell, hopefully, right off the bat, that they have the same number of pieces. Unlike the first one, they both have 6 pieces. So your denominator for both of these is going to be 6 because there are 6 total pieces. Here I have 1, 2, 3 that are shaded in, so 3 of the 6. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of the 6. And let me just make sure that I drew that correctly or colored them in. Yes, okay. And then you're going to shade in which one is greater than. Remember, when your numerator is going up, especially if it's the same denominator, it's going to be greater. So 4, 6 would be greater. Number 2, write the fraction shaded below the first model. So we're going to count the pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is totally symmetrical. 4 plus 4 is 8. There are 8 pieces. How many are colored in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those 8 pieces are shaded in. So it says, shade the second model to show a greater fraction. Write the greater fraction on the line. So down below this part, you're going to write 5/8. And then here you need to do something that's greater. So you need to do 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, anything that is greater than 5. Number 3 says, so then you're going to shade in however many you choose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 8. You can do what you'd like. Number 3, write the fraction shaded below the first model. So the first model, 1, 2, 3 pieces. 3 is my denominator. 2 of those 3 are shaded in, so my fraction is 2/3. Divide and shade the second model to show a fraction that is less than the first fraction, but has the same numerator. Write the lesser fraction. Okay, this is kind of tricky. So it says divide and shade. I'm going to read it. You can write it 3 times. Divide and shade the second model to show a fraction that is less than the first fraction, but has the same numerator. So it needs to be less than. So what that means is you need to cut it into more than 3 pieces. I'll choose 6. So I'm going to cut it in, let's see, and then actually I'll just do 4ths. So 4ths. Okay. And then it says, to show a fraction that is less than the first fraction, but has the same numerator. So here I have the same numerator, 2 of the 4, but those 2/4 is less than 2/3, as you can see by my drawing. So it's less than, but has the same numerator, which is how they try to trick you. All right. So for number 4 and 5, it's the same thing. You're going to circle, in 4, you're going to circle the fraction that's less. In 5, you're going to circle the fraction that's greater. So I drew the number line in 4 just like they did, but I only went so far because I wanted to explain how to write fractions on the number line for those of you that are still struggling. So here I have 0 to 1, which is the whole. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are 8s. Your denominator is going to be 8. If you notice, what I did, which I would like for you guys to get in the habit of, is I put my whole numbers on the top, and then below I'm going to take that whole number and break it down into fractions. So it'll be, this is 1, 8, 2 8s. You just count along, 3 8s, 4 8s. I'm at the halfway point because 4 is completely half. It's half of 8. So 5 8s, 6 8s, 7 8s. This would be 8 8s. Okay. So I did the whole thing just to show you how to do that. Circle the fraction that is less. So that's 3 8s if they're comparing it right there. Then below I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So my denominator is going to be 4. 4 and 4. So again, I'm just hopping 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you notice, 2 fourths is equivalent to 4 8s because they go up and down. But the one they want you to compare is 3 fourths, which is right here. So then what you're going to do, I'm going to take a different color and I'm going to circle the ones that they have. 3 fourths and 3 8s. And you can hopefully tell which one is less because it is closer to 0. 3 8s is smaller, it's less than 3 fourths. So the same thing here, you're going to see if they're equivalent, they're up and down. If one is ahead, it's greater than. If one is behind, it's less than. All right, number 6. How is comparing fractions with area models like comparing fractions with number lines? So this one you can write your own words, but how is it alike? How is it different? So you're comparing and contrasting those different models, which is super cool. It ties in again to our literacy. So you can tell which one is more on a number line because your space from 0 to your fraction is bigger if it's greater than. Here, using a model, they color in, you can see more of the picture is shaded in. So you go farther on the number line for being greater than, less than it's closer to 0, so it's smaller. So this line is smaller, the amounts colored in are smaller. So you're still comparing, it's just showing one is like linear, which means it's on a line, and one is shaded in parts. Number 7, which is less, 5 8s or 5 6? How do you know? Well, for this one, 5 8s or 5 6, we know that if the denominator, 8, it's bigger, the denominator is bigger, that means the pieces are smaller. 6s would be bigger. So one way you can know, and the numerator is the same. So if the pieces of 8s are smaller and I have 5 of them, 5 8s is going to be smaller because the pieces are smaller because the denominator is bigger. Remember, I think in my last video I said if the denominator goes up, the size of your pieces goes down. So if you have 5 8s, they're going to be smaller pieces. You can explain that in your own words down here. You're also welcome to draw a number line if it helps your understanding and your thinking to figure out which one is different. So, but I hope that makes sense. Then you're going to keep going. This is just some practice. So it's what we did. So you're going to count the pieces. 1, 2, 3. Your denominator is 3. How many are colored in? 2 of the 3. So this is 2/3. 1/3. And then you're going to circle which one is greater. So make sure you're reading the words there. There's an example up at the top too, if you need it. Now, the next page is just some more practice. So write the fraction for the shaded parts from problems 4 and 5. Circle the fraction that is less. So you have 2 pieces on that top circle, and one of them is shaded in. That is 1/2. The next one, 3, your denominator is 3 because there's 3 pieces. One of those 3 is colored in. And then here, you're going to do what I did, and you're going to label the fractions 4 8s. So this one will be 8s because they're smaller. This one is 6 because they're bigger. So this one will be 8, this one will be 6, and you're going to go to 4, and you're going to circle which one is greater. If you have any questions on those, on understanding those, just please let me know. But I'm really hoping that fractions is starting to make sense to you. If it's not, feel free to shoot me a Google, an email or a Google Hangout message and let me know. I'm more than happy to do a Zoom one-on-one with you. We can schedule it every week so I know that you're understanding. All right, good luck. I love you guys. I miss you so much. Bye.